Okay, we heard probably on day 3 of the Biden administration that they were going to stop the construction of the wall and that it was racist and really unjustified. Well, guess what? Behind us is an unfinished section of the wall here in Mission, and this is just an eye-opening experience to see it.
Yeah, well, this is just taxpayer money going to waste. I mean, it's not like nothing was here and they just didn't start building. This was the middle of construction and they just completely stopped, and there's no buffer, there's no nothing. People come here all the time and cross right through, and then they can just walk right in to city and town, and this is not a very secure area.
Yeah, Mexico is right above the tree line there. That is Mexico. Let's walk through here and give you an idea. There's a hat down below. They make apprehensions along this area quite often, so this is not folks, if you could really see how close Mexico is to an RV park here, you'll see the need for a wall. But let's get down in here. Let's see if we can go over and give you an idea of what is involved in building this wall, and that all of a sudden, since it stopped, now we have an increased numbers of people coming across.
Yeah, no, I mean, it's just still mind-blowing to me that this is the middle of construction and they completely stopped, and this is material that is going to waste right now. This is already paid for and nothing is being done.
Yeah, they have spotters along this this construction wall here that will signal into an agent that will then go ahead and try to apprehend whoever is coming across. Let's walk up here this way. I'm going to show you another section of the wall that's a little bit further under construction than this is. You can see this is the staging. I guess they've got a little bit more of the steel barrier put up, the infrastructure on it, and then you can see, Gage, if we shoot off that way, a little bit more of the concrete and steel, bars and things that's constructed. Trump talked about how strong his wall is, and well, there it is.
Yeah, well, this is a great example of what the wall was like under Trump, and now what's going on under Biden, which is weak and fragile and barely anything, not even a buffer.
It's really ridiculous what we're looking at right now, considering we saw the clips before. We know how effective a wall is to stop people from coming in, and to just absolutely stop construction of the wall based upon your political agenda to pander perhaps to a segment of society for votes is wrong. And there it is. And I would imagine if we were to walk through this RV park over there and would talk to people about what they see on the daily and what they think about this, I would overwhelmingly think we know what that answer would be.
Yeah, I'm sure they see activity here all the time. It's so easy for them to just walk through because they say if they're in Mexico and they want to cross over on this side, they see there's no wall, there's nothing stopping them. And also you have to take into account the safety of Border Patrol. I mean, there's nothing here for them to really protect them and kind of give them a buffer and some leeway to really slow down the immigration.
Okay, this is one of the areas along the Rio Grande. This is a riverbed that they use for shelter once they come across to the U.S. Now, there's not anything fresh here. I don't see anything that's would have been of here lately. But this is where they can hide out just briefly, because once agents know that they have people that have come across, they will try to track them down. Let's see if we can walk this way. And what they'll do is they'll bed down here. As you can hear the helicopters above us, that's what they do. They patrol this area. But they can bed down here and look up on this road for a load vehicle, someone that will pull up. They can hop in it, and they're already in the United States. And once they get in that vehicle, well, they can disappear indefinitely. Finally get 2 minutes.
Yeah.
All right. All right, Texas is a great state to live in, and due to the fact by this guy right here has implemented policies and protected the state's rights. And let's talk about what we heard earlier today, how Texas is under attack. It has a border crisis, and that is a fact.
That is a fact. We have the largest border with Mexico, over 1,200 miles. I think it's close to 2/3 of the total border. And President Biden has basically said the border's open. We're not going to send you back. And we're going to put Texans at risk of both higher crime and put the cartels, giving them more access to our state and to our country to do their drug trafficking, to do their human trafficking, to commit other crimes. That's where we are. And the Biden administration, whether they've thought about it or not, they are aiding and abetting the cartels.
Yeah, and President Trump at the time warned that this would happen if those policies would roll back or the border wall stopped under construction. I've talked to business owners, I've talked to neighbors that live along this wall. They need this wall back up, and they need these policies to go back into effect.
Yes, they're at risk. They're afraid. Many of them are afraid. They should be. The cartels have so much more influence here. And as Border Patrol is being occupied by taking care of a lot of these families and these children, many of them are diverted from defending our border, from stopping, drug trafficking and other crimes. And so the cartels know that. They're making money coming and going because they're making money off of these immigrants. Every one of them pays a minimum. I've heard of a $4,000 up to $50,000. So they're making hundreds of millions of dollars on bringing people up here. There's a financial incentive to bring them here. And then there's also the fact that the border is less protected. There's more opportunity for them to make money on the drugs and the human trafficking and other crimes that they want to commit.
Okay, one of the top questions we get here is, what can I do? I live in Texas. You live in Texas. I'm talking to Texans right now. What's your message to what they can do right now to either put pressure on their state and local officials or write letters? What can they do?
Yeah, one is to be aware of what's going on. The reality of this situation is and how it's affecting our state and the entire country. Look, a lot of this is going to get exported. The drugs aren't going to just stay in Texas. The human trafficking isn't going to just stay in Texas. And I would say speak out. Speak out to your friends. Speak out to your elected representative. Send the letters to the President of the United States and say, look, we've had enough of this. You need to follow federal law. The reason we have this problem is that President Biden has decided that he doesn't like federal law as it is. He doesn't like what Congress passed, but it's not his job to decide that. He's supposed to implement it, not change it. He's decided he's going to operate both as congressional representative, and if he wants to do that, he needs to go back and be a senator, and not president.
Absolutely. Well, we appreciate your service to the great state of Texas. You've had a long day. It's time for you to get some cold water and go get some lunch. Anyway, thanks to you. Texas is a great place to live. We want to continue that, but we need your support. Okay, we're along the wall here in McAllen area, and take a look at this. This is an 8-foot ladder. Now, you'll see these ladders scattered up and down the U.S. border here. These are self-made ladders. This is something someone, made on their own. There's different variations of this ladder, but they drag these ladders up in front of these 18-foot, even in some portions, 19-foot high fences, and they try to get over. And that's the dangerous part of what they're doing.
Yeah, well, it's crazy to think, what's going through their mind thinking that a 7-8 foot ladder is going to help them get across an 18-foot wall. But I'm sure they think that it's better than nothing. But then once you get up there, look, it's so difficult to actually climb up a wall like this and then to have to actually get down. And they don't have a ladder on the other side to help them get down either. So then they fall and they hurt themselves. And they probably have to take resources away from agents that are along this border to help take them and treat them at a hospital.
Yeah, you're talking about broken ankles, knees, backs, things like that. But this is what they do. And if you look out behind us, guys, about 3/4 of a mile that way is the Rio Grande River. So if they were able to cross and make it through this vegetation undetected, which, by the way, there's border agents up and down this section of the wall. But if they're able to get undetected, the only way they can get over now is to get one of these makeshift ladders, and we'll turn it around, and it gives you any indication of what they have to scale in order to get over it. Now, once you get to the top, there's 10 more feet that you have to get over, but the getting back on the other side, that's where people get injured. But we were talking amongst ourselves, and we just don't understand why people try and do this knowing that there's a wall that will prevent them from getting here. But what we learned is they will go to the weaker sections along our border that doesn't have this protection. That's where they're getting in.
Well, yeah, because the wall isn't made to stop them. It's made to buffer. It's made to kind of control the influx in a way. But just like you said, once they get into spots like this, it pushes them off to weaker spots and to spots where the wall is not finished. So, and then it just makes them a lot easier to get across.
Yeah, so, this is the reality of what's going on here along the border. Now, I don't know. I just look at this and go, I just can't imagine attempting to do this, but people do, and we'll find out more. You'll see more of this along the wall when you come out here. Okay, to kind of conclude everything here, Alexandra, we can come to conclusions that wherever there's a wall present, you're not necessarily seeing immigration come over.
Yeah, well, I mean, even with a wall, obviously they're going to try, but it doesn't mean that they're going to succeed in what they're doing, because obviously this was more of like a bust type of ladder. But they're going to try, but when they see this big durable wall, they're not going to want to try to come over here because it's going to be too difficult for them. They want something easy, something that's going to be easy and quick for them to get across, which is why they're going to go to these spots that the construction has stopped. So walls do work, and we need to make sure that we finish the wall.
Finish the wall. There you go.